Okay, welcome back to Electro-Anarchy. Today we are going to do a few new things. At least I'm going to give them a try here. Trying out some multiple camera angles and see what it looks like. First of all, I went ahead and cut down this back part here. I don't know if you can see it here. I cut down all of the spaces so that this can be attached back on without having to deal with the back part. So it's all gone. Just dremeled it all out and got that taken care of. Next thing is I went and looked at how many connections there are here. Right here. These, and then there's one that goes to each individual switch that goes on to the joystick controller, which is over here. Right there. So anyway, what I did was I took a simple little project board, and I have not soldered these on yet, but I'm going to solder them on there and connect it to the Arduino. So for right now, I think I'm just going to strip all this crud off the screen and black it out so that I can reassemble this thing and start working on getting everything hooked up into the case. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So the best thing to do, well, this is how I do it. Everyone can do these differently, but I just take a simple razor blade and then just get after it. And it is a long, tedious process because the tape they use is actually pretty good. Now I tried on the other side. I just put tape over the top of this, and I don't like the way it ended up looking. I'll show you a close-up here. This right here, you can see all the bumps and everything in there. If you're going to take the time and trouble to do something, do it right. It's kind of one of those things. In any case, that's why now taking the time, let's just strip this back. Here we go. I know there's chemicals to use for this, but this close to the LCD screen, I don't really want to get something on here that might cause a reaction with the UV protection that's on this screen. Of course, now I turn the cameras on, it's going to take me a little more time. Earlier, I actually got quite a bit earlier. Starting, I just add pressure. I just heard today that Hancock Fabrics is shutting down all their stores and going out of business. Kind of sucks. And then for those of you that might be watching from other countries, I don't know if you have a Hancock Fabric in England, Australia, Germany, or wherever you may be, but Hancock is they deal with fabrics, anything to do with fabrics, upholstery, sewing, that type of stuff. And they, at least where I live here in Omaha, Nebraska, most of the upholstery stores, professional upholstery supply stores, all left years ago. And so we're left with having to deal with retail outlets. And Hancock was one of the better of the retail outlets. But as time's gone by now, apparently Hancock couldn't even stay in business. So the closest place I have to get professional supplies is Kansas City, which kind of sucks. But here in the United States, we've had the type of politicians that are more concerned about people getting their free stuff than people being able to get stuff that makes money and creates jobs. To me, counterintuitive, but hey, that's just the way it is. Anyway, just another business that's bitten the dust. I thought Radio Shack was going to be gone, but fortunately, there is still Radio Shacks around, and there is one here. So, at least I do still have a Radio Shack available, but it really sucks that Hancock has gone away, or is going away. Although, if you're watching this video, I talked to a lady at Hancock, and she said that they're going to start pulling out all of their shelves and the stuff in the back rooms and all that. They're going to be liquidating everything. So, if it's something that if you, like me, I want some of their shelves. There's some of their shelves that I want. There's some of their roll-around cards that I want. I'm going to stock up on vinyl. I'm going to stock up on a whole bunch of stuff that I need, and upholstery stuff that, quite frankly, a lot of people don't use. If they don't do upholstery work, then they don't use that type of stuff. But I'm going to go down and stock up. There are 4 stores in my area, and I'm going to hit each one of those buggers trying to find as much of the stuff I need as far as supplies that I can, and just stock up. And that's what I am going to do. And for all you guys out there, that might possibly do that, hey, there's a place. Going back into, where this ties into like electronics. I mean, yeah, I do this type of stuff, but I also do other types of things. I rebuild cars, I do a lot of woodwork, a lot of repairs and stuff like that. So when I look at these things, all these other things that I do come into play. Like this on the side part here. What's on here is not too bad, but as you can see, there's all kinds of little scratchy marks, and there's a piece down here missing. These things have kind of banged around and stuff. And so, to me, it'd be kind of cool, I think, to maybe put a little bit of padding on the sides, and maybe cover it over with some black vinyl, and maybe put, airbrush a design on it or something. It'd be kind of cool. Things like that. That's kind of where it ties in, because I've seen people who make projects, and they make Raspberry Pi projects, Arduino projects, things of that nature. They'll do something with the Edison, and then they'll the fit and finish looks like total dog shit, just because they're an electronic geek and they have no idea other than a hot glue gun and some Bondo. That's pretty much all they know. So it's sometimes good, even when you're doing electronics or you're doing projects, hobbies, or whatever. It's good to expand your, just expand your experience and learn a few other things. For example, pottery. I mean, there's plenty of things that, electronics, you wouldn't think pottery and electronics. That's not really that cool. But you think about projects where you could have a solar panel on a fake pottery pot that you put out somewhere. Say you want to extend the range of a radio system or some kind of control system if you're on a farm. Well, just make a waterproof ceramic pot or something, put a solar panel on it, and it could be a range extender. There's many different things. The more you learn, the more you can do. And I don't know. I'll get off that high horse, but no, it was just, I couldn't believe Hancock was going out of business. And then I read Apple has come out with a Raspberry Pi type board, which sounds very interesting. Does have a GUI, believe it or not. It's based on Darwin, which is essentially what Next designed and they built OS X off of, and of course that's what they've got for Mac OS, iOS, and stuff like that. It's all built off the same kernel, off the same core, which the Mach kernel, which is Unix built off of BSD. And yeah, you could theoretically take the Mach kernel and put Linux libraries on it, and you would have a very cool beast. But the Mach kernel it's got its issues. It's Unix. It hasn't received quite as much development as what Linux has over the years, but it is what it is. In any case. Okay. Alright, we're back to this thing. Okay, I got most of this stuff off. There's a little bit of residual stuff, but it was tough. But that's the way it is when you recycle, reuse electronics. You have to do whatever's necessary to make it fit into your application. So I got most of this foam crap off of here, and I'm going to try to clean it up a little bit with some alcohol and see if this tape's not really wanting to come off. So just going to go over it just so our tape, the black tape we're going to put on here, sticks pretty good. Okay, so do that and wipe this stuff off. Okay. Next thing we're going to do, just get some standard old, I'm just going to use some black electrical tape. Nothing fancy, nothing special. Just gonna put this on here just to black out the silver part. If you ever done any pinstriping, this is kind of similar to that in a way. Okay, there we are. Okay, here we are. Glass clean that glass up. Go around here before we put it completely together. That's okay. Alright. Now we start putting these things into their proper positions. See what I'm working on here. Okay, next. That's going in there. And this one goes over here. Come on, fingers work with me here. Okay, so there we go. Alright. There is what we have now. I gotta get a couple of screws underneath here. Put in. Screws. Okay. we have that now. Okay, so that's how everything's gonna sit. Just like that, right there. There, all the way up here. So now we have something to work with here. So let's figure out how we're going to get this. Now, got a power plug here. It's just a DC jack from Radio Shack. I used to use these on some controllers that I made. I figure I'll probably put it in the back panel down here somewhere. Same way with this. I thought about putting this on the side or something like that, but I don't know. May end up putting it back here on the back panel. I even thought about putting it up in the front, but I don't know. Haven't got a good idea for this part yet. And this will have to go into the very, very front. So let me do some figuring, and then we'll be back.